Hey guys, gonna be a quick update regarding the Steam Deck launch in Japan in physical stores. I went back to the Edion Namba store in Osaka today, so 2 days after the actual launch was at the last Saturday, and I wanted to share with you a couple of information I managed to pick up today. So first, I went back to the trial stage on the first floor, and as you can see, it was not too busy today. Maybe 4 or 5 people. That's expected because it's Golden Week, but today is not a holiday, so most people may be working still. I went ahead and tried a couple of games. Here I'm showing Super Bomberman R, as you can see, and I was actually pretty shocked that this is yet another game that crashed when I tried to play it. I went for single player mode, story mode, so it should be nothing related to a multiplayer issue, I believe. But then it went ahead and crashed, even though it was one of the games in demonstration. So this is pretty bad. I mean, everybody can make mistakes, but like that you have 2 games in 2 different days that are trying, like Persona 5 and this one crashing or refusing to launch for an actual launch event that's supposed to promote the device. This is not good. So I hope they will, learn their lessons there and prepare better if they ever launch in other stores in the future, because this is really amateurish at the best. This is DMC, one of the Devil May Cry episodes, and this looks great. It worked fine, great frame rate and so on, so this is a great title to showcase. I went back to the Stefans Row where they're actually showcasing the actual decks to buy, and then I noticed there was now a new poster where they were promoting the fact that you would get Go Mine, so 50,000 yen off, which is about $4,000 more or less, off if you purchase, subscribe to internet service. So it's almost getting a Steam Deck 64GB free, more or less, if you decide to go for it. I checked through the shelves, and you can see here that the 256GB model was the one selling the best so far, even though the more expensive one sold apparently better in the first couple of hours. So this may have changed, and I confirm with the store clerk that this is actually the case. Right now the 256GB is selling better than the other models. And then I asked a couple of other things, and out of the blue I asked the question to him, like, can you tell me like how many units you've actually sold in the Steam Deck? And I didn't expect him to answer, but he did. He actually told me the pretty much accurate number of how many units were sold, and he said between 80 to 100 units were sold. And that's in 2 days. And so Osaka is a fairly big, city center. I mean, you have many big cities around as well, and we're talking about an area where there's potentially 10 million people living. So if you look at this number, it does not seem like much, but at the same time, you have to consider the context in Japan. First, I would say this is a device that's not been promoted heavily. This store basically is doing promotion, but like there's no TV advertising, there is no newspaper ads or anything. So unless you knew it was happening, you probably would not be much aware of this this availability of this device in this area right now. So this is really like, with minimal advertising, how much you would basically sell. On top of that, this device right now is really aimed at the PC gamers market. And this is something I also confirmed with the person I was talking to here, whether or not there were some people coming, from the Switch side and were potentially interested in this device. He said, no, absolutely not. Like the large, very, very, very large majority of people who actually come and try and even purchase a deck in the end are PC gamers. So this is not a device that's basically right now attractive for people who are playing with the Switch. So as you know, the PC gamer market in Japan is very small, and Steam, even Steam as a platform, is mostly unknown for most Japanese people. If you were to interview like 100 people in the street in Japan randomly, I'm pretty confident that 95, maybe 99 would not know or have heard of Steam as a platform, but most of them, maybe like almost 100% would know about the Switch or about the PlayStation as a platform. So this is where you're starting with. So I think these numbers, 80 to 100, are not great, but at the same time, they're not terrible. And I would say it's probably within the average expectation you would have for this kind of system, which is priced relatively higher than the typical console. at the same time targeted to a very niche market currently, and has no advertising. And I would say, it's not flying off the shelf, but it's not terrible either. If they had sold only to the people who came to the event on the first day, on the morning when I saw people directly going there to purchase their deck, and after that it would have been zero, then I think would have been bad. But right now it looks like it's selling a bit every day. So that's it. I think it's going to be very critical for the Japanese market and for this particular test market is whether they will continue selling in the next few weeks as well, whether the trend will continue, or whether it suddenly stops and there's no sales anymore. So as I said on Saturday, they mentioned they have several hundreds units in stock. So maybe now they sold maybe more than 10% of it, and we'll see within a month if they manage to get rid of all their stock or not. Alright, I'll be happy to give you an update if I manage to find somebody very talkative again in a couple of weeks, and hopefully you'll learn this before anywhere else. So stay tuned, come back to Boiling Steam for all the latest news regarding Steam Deck. We typically have some new information that nobody else has, so please keep in touch, and we'll talk to you very soon again.